let your light shine bright. I've been through the pain, I've been through the rain, I've been through the storm, that's me. I learned to survive through all the lies, had to cut some ties with grief. My girl leaving, had my world deleted, 2018 was deep. A year later, my little brother survived gunshots in the streets. We know what's up, the revenge up, that shit sucks. Sometimes it make me feel weak, make me feel weak. 2 months later, my little cousin was murdered. Wasn't he 15? Wasn't he 15? Heard from within, no Bible sins, no religion can save me. Doing yoga pose, got my breath on hold, learn to let go mentally. Plant-based eating, I'm that vegan that's not afraid of the beef. Spiritually fit, energy lit, but on my hip is the heat. The year 2020 got my vision clear. I learned discernment, I keep it near COVID. I'm mostly all focused, all I didn't notice, it was all fear. That same year, I had to shed a tear. Little bro Jay and his homies playing 2K, a little loud. And this crazy old bitch came out and blah, 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 blah. Get down, 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 down. A bullet hit Jay and now he gone. Another mom with her son coming home. That shit ain't right, it's hella wrong. All this pain made nigga hella strong. That's why heal thyself and know thyself and love thyself. In 2016, one of my best friends, Tycoon, he killed himself. I was fucked up, didn't know do with self. That moment I knew I had to prove myself, had to learn not to lose myself. Tycoon influenced me through his death, plus multiple wounds from love issues. My heart done felt no weather, I still want those tears I cried, no fears in my eyes. Shadows near, can't hide. Let your light shine bright. Those tears I cried, no fears in my eyes. Shadows near, can't hide. Let your light shine bright. I'm indoctrinated, influenced by doctors say this. Spiritual grounded, but watch your lady. I'll have her meditating. You were hella hate, I used to be hella faded. This is that well played, self-made. Marijuana, mushroom, meditation, motivation. Leave all that past in the dust, call it cremation. I'm not here just for entertainment, I'm here to plant seeds of greatness. They be like, please, no spirituality for me. I just need them being Franklins. I've been thinking that being Franklin, being taken. The minds of the people, they being Franklin. They being hunted to the streets just to touch them being Franklins. You being Frankenstein, that means they got your mind. Get your ass in line. Particular programs got all the youngins with blood in their hands, so they cuff their hands. Eating print bread sandwich when they in that jam. I ain't talking about jelly when I talk about jam. I'm talking about a silly weird nigga like them. I don't go in cause I did enough time in that pen. Communicated with the pen as a youngin'. Right fam, jail letters I didn't like. Had my heart broken by a dope. She put my heart through a Mike Tyson fight. Shed so many tears that lone at night. I'm done arguing about what's wrong or right. Some things get left so your soul get right. Women done made me the villain, surrounded by all the killing. Had me do all the healing to weather the storm to see my potential has no ceiling. Those tears I cried, no fears in my eyes. Shadows near, can't hide. Let your light shine bright. Those tears I cried, no fears in my eyes. Shadows near, can't hide. Let your light shine bright. Through the pain, you have to connect with your membrane to keep from going insane. Do frequency healing, Dr. Strange. Shed those tears to release those fears. Third eye on peers because there's always frenemies near. Question what you see, challenge what you hear. Protect your energy, that God has been inside you since you was born in this chaos. Meditation and spiritual exercise to get that demonic energy weight off. Long live Alex. Miss you, little cuz. We gon' keep living for you.
Yeah. Seeds. You know, they don't grow unless you plant them, you know. But at the same time, you gotta water them too. So remember that. Water your seeds. Our communities need structure and order. Since they don't get it, I'ma give it to my son and my daughter. I'ma show her self-love and how to not get extorted by nobody. Respect your body and make wise choices. You can change the whole world, it's all yours, not a portion. I promise to give you love no matter your life choices. Don't let no man hypnotize you, learn how to avoid it. And when you pregnant, don't let them tell you to get it aborted. I raise you up showing traits that you never will forget. I promise to protect, give you love and respect. So when you find your man, then you'll know what to expect. Don't ever let nobody give you less. Don't want to control you, I'll expose you to what you came to do. You're so powerful, strong and wise, just to name a few. You the most hated, they all take a name at you. Cause they know mankind came from you, and that's the truth.
But turns that away. And now I won't stay with you. Won't stay right here with you. Thank you, thank you.
When I have a son, I'ma show him he's the one. That the power's in his mind, ain't no power in a gun. To kill a man, that's something that a coward would've done. Cause he weak, and he never had power in his punch. Listen, you gotta get it, don't be looking for a savior. The word comes now, but the fun comes later. Cause I done seen some people who had big dreams turn 50, still doing the shit that they did at 15. Still chasing women, hoping that they get them. You can catch him partying or on the block, drinking liquor, damn. Because he never found his own purpose, and he don't know his potential or himself. He needs some soul searching. But I'ma give you the rules to survive, the knowledge to withstand and the tools to provide. I look into your eyes and I see myself. So it's okay to express what you feeling, or if you need some help.
But turns that away. And now I won't stay with you. Won't stay right here with you. Thank you, thank you.
To my mother and pops, I'm thankful with all you showed me. All the trials and tribulations, I let them mold me. Still I stand as a man, it never broke me. Ambition, hustle, and focus, that's what you showed me. And mama, I know you dealing with drama. All you do is give, and I just wanna give you your karma. As a kid, I was the outcast, living with trauma. To be that sun that shine on you, though, it still is an honor. And to my dad, we getting that bond that we never had. It's better than the past, so I'm glad. Plus, I'm proud of you, using your mind to overcome your addiction. So nah, I ain't holding nothing against you. You a strong person. To find myself, I did some long searching. With my parents, the connection is there, but the bond's hurting. Finish this verse up as I drop tears, because I realize this cycle gotta stop here. Seeds.
And peace, grand one, salutes to all the real, the genuine, and the sincere at heart, man. Back at it again, man, with another dynamic duo, if I say so myself. With my comrade, man, my good brother, man. The enemy's public, man. What's happening, man? Peace, good brother. How you doing, brother?
Peace. I'm feeling absolutely wonderful, brother. How you doing this good evening?
Man, I'm feeling grand, brother. I'm feeling grand.
Happy to hear that. Yeah, the dynamic duo is back at it again.
Yes, sir, man. And, you know, we've been talking about this for a while. We've been chatting it up, you know, behind the scenes on coming, you know, putting this together, a strong weekly, you know, something we was going to, you know, just touch on things, you know, from two different generations, from my standpoint and from your standpoint, you know, touch on certain topics and make it a strong weekly. And we finally here. We've been talking about it for a while and we finally here.
Yes, sir. At least 6 months.
Yeah, man. We finally here, man. We said, man, it's time to just do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Indeed so.
Let's go. You know, as per our conversation or conversations, you know, we want to start with accountability. That's what we want to start with. It's 2 generations on one platform, which is sort of, what I like to do as far as like bridging the gap between generations. We just gotta add other generations to the platform. Something that we can look into in the near future. But subtitle, Manhood or the Lack of Thereof. It's a lot that goes with that subtitle. Peace to Warriors New Sleep. She just came into the building. Yeah. And the question that, we imposed when we talked on the phone is, how can we tell a young man didn't grow up around men as a youth?
Mm.
And it's a lot that goes with that. My sentiment is, you can give yours if you like to, or you can impose a question on me. And I'll just give my sentiments on that question.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, you go ahead and take the lead. This one gonna be real good here. I know this gonna turn out to be fire right here, man. Shout out to the people in the chat, man. I give a shout out to the ones who showed up early, man. Real talk, real supporters, man.
Before I start, good brother, I want to shout the people out.
Yes.
In the building. Let me go down the line.
Yes, sir.
Philly OG, peace to the good brother. In the Groove, peace. P Moses is in the building. Kills is in the building. The brother Dre Kyle's Music is in the building.
Big Cub.
Woke is the New Sleep is in the building.
Yes, sir.
So we can get started. And the question is, how can we tell a young man didn't grow up around men as a youth? Well, you can tell by some of their behavior. Sometimes a young man can grow up around a man and he don't heed what that man is teaching him. Sometimes some of us are rebellious and we think we figured it out, as opposed to listening to those who are elders to us. But how we can tell that some of them didn't grow up around men? They whine a lot. They play too much. They don't hold themselves accountable for anything. And they think life itself is about fun and games. And they don't take nothing serious.
And they always think somebody owed them something.
Yes, sir. And they think somebody owed them something. And they're very disrespectful. Because if you see a young man that display that type of behavior, that means that behavior went unchecked while he was up. It went unchecked. And he didn't have men around him. Well, I see it a lot. Some of the sisters, they had their sons with them and they hanging out with her and her girlfriends, and they don't make nothing but, an effeminate man as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
Drop them off at the basketball court, the barbershop, drop them off at the garage or something. But that's how I could tell, just to name a few, that a young man didn't grow up around grown ass men or men in general as a youth. No accountability. Everything is everybody's fault except his. Everything.
I want to touch on something that you spoke on earlier.
Yes, sir.
In your beginning dialogue. You say there is a lot of cases where a lot of the young men, let's say the young teens, the young adolescents, you know, they get certain order, they get certain instructions from some man that was in their life or around them. You know, many of us that didn't grow up with fathers, they grew up where they knew their grandfather was in their life, one of their grandfathers or an uncle or two. Or like you said, you know, friends, fathers, you know, in some of our neighborhoods, you know, it was some of us who had just, you know, who had cool dads and stuff like that. And, you know, that pops looked out for the whole, you know, his son's whole little crew, his son's, you know, whole little clique that he always was rolling with, or, you know, always hung out with and played sports and stuff like that with. So you always had some father figures around somehow, somewhere that demonstrated, you know, and gave you an example of how a man is supposed to conduct himself, you know, in many different situations. And like, I understand too that a lot of young men, because I know myself when I was young, like I'm one of those who didn't grow up with my pops, but like I grew up with my uncles. I grew up with my grandpops, both of them. And they made sure that I understood that I wasn't, like you said, a crybaby. I wasn't whining about everything, and I had to accept certain things how it was, and I didn't be meddling in certain things that's, like you say, that's feminine, you know, that, you know, lead that up to you. Well, I had one of my uncles tell me one time, Bro.Nasir, my Uncle Stevie to be exact, he told me, he said, man, he said, if you ever find yourself arguing with one of these women, nephew, then you done stoop to their level. Don't ever let them get you to their level, because once you do that, it's like he said, for one, you're going to lose, because you ain't going to never be able to out-argue or out-talk a woman. You're going to lose. He said, on top, you're going to lose. And for two, you don't want to show the people who's looking on, who's listening on, that you that type of man. You don't want to show them that. You don't want to show them that you don't know how to walk away from, you know, a situation like that, or you don't know how to handle that situation. You don't know how to say a few things and just let it be. If you got to go on and get the last word like a woman, yeah, like you can't be doing shit like that. I had one of my uncles tell me that when I was probably 14.
You know, I don't understand the logic of any man who even attempts to get the last word, or feel that he could win an argument with a woman. Now, right is right and wrong is wrong. But if you have two people going back and forth, let's just say, for instance, on this platform, on YouTube, you have men that'll go back and forth with a sister, back and forth. I mean, an extended back and forth. That don't sit right with me.
Right.
I would leave. I would straight up digress and leave that conversation before I go back and forth. You know, especially the yelling and the cussing. Nah, I can't do that. Especially with a woman that's not mine.
Now, let me ask you this too, Bro.Nasir, from your perspective. It's like we're talking from two different generations now, right? And let me ask you this from your perspective: is it all? Let me how I want to question this: is it Do you feel that there is sometimes where a man should know to just go ahead and let her have it? Just let her have it. It don't matter if you feel and know that he's right. Just go ahead and let her have it. Do you feel that that it should be? Sometimes it should be that way.
You know, the best way to get the best of an argument is to not get in it in the first place. That's the best way to win an argument, is don't indulge in it in the first place. You won. But some of us will go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. It's times that you have to put your foot down as a man. I'm speaking about being argumentative.
Right.
You know, sometimes you're going to go back and forth.
Right.
That's a part of getting to the bottom of things. But to be argumentative, now that don't sit right with me. Sometimes you just gotta be like, okay, you got it. And especially if she's right. You have cats that argue when they wrong. You're dead wrong arguing. No, I can't do that. It's a time and place for everything, brother.
And I know, let me ask you this, because I know, like, you know, I don't know if it was if that was just like the code of the street on how I was raised, but you know, like not only was it like told to me in many different ways, but it was also demonstrated, like I'm saying to you, like men is not supposed to even argue with each other, with men, not let alone with a woman, but not even with men. And that's just the way I was raised. Like, if you're going to say something, you address your point, and you say what you say, and you know, you let them take it how they want to take it. And if it's going to go to a further extent, we're just going to go there, but we ain't going to keep talking about it. We're not going to keep arguing and go back and forth about it.
That was taught to
me. Like, yeah, you niggas over there sound like some, you know what I'm saying?
That was taught to me also. Wherever it's going to be, it be that. But I was also taught that you shouldn't play with a man, and you shouldn't allow no one to play with you.
Right.
I was taught that. And I was also taught that playing with a grown-ass man would get you killed. Because you don't know the magnitude of that man and how serious that person is. But we have cats today that play and think they can play with grown men, being disrespectful. I've seen cats lose their life just playing with the grown man. Lost their life over that. When somebody tell you to get away from them, he's doing that for you. That's your grace. Back up off that, brother. I remember it was this older cat where I was growing up at. He used to take the picture. His name was Earl. He used to be the flick man. Everybody called him the flick man because he'd come around taking pictures of everybody. You know, with the envelopes. With the envelopes, and you know what I'm saying, and you take the pictures, and he get a picture of like 2 for $5 or something like that.
Right.
These young brothers was rolling up on him, but they didn't know this older brother had hands. And my pops, peace be upon him, said, "Do not run up on him. That's a mistake if you run up on him." They ran up on Earl. It was like 3, 4 of them. All I know is seconds later, they was running the other way because they started throwing them hands on him. He was nice with hands.
Mm.
And they started running the other way. So I told you, my pops was like, I told you, don't run up on that man. But, it's a shame it has to happen in order for people to know that it happened. And that goes from not taking things serious, playing too much, thinking life and everything is about fun and games. There's nothing wrong with your leisure, but make sure all your business is taken care of first. If all your business is taken care of first, then you can have all the fun you want. But some cats don't even believe in their business, bro. They don't believe in taking care of business. They think everything's about fun and games. Life itself is about fun and damn games.
You just spoke on that earlier. They just want to have fun.
I think that's what they, Cindy Lauper said. Girls won't just want to have fun, right?
Right.
Isn't that what she said back in the day? Girls just want to have fun, and now it's guys just want to have fun too.
Mm.
You gotta have some type of seriousness to it. Peace to Quentin Emerson. Thanks for and Shy Apples. Peace to the brothers for joining in. Ghetto Child Clinic. Thanks for coming through.
I salute to all the kindred in the chat, man. Peace to everyone. Shout to Shy out.
It's like I was around a lot of men growing up. My pops, he had brothers. My mother had brothers. I had older cousins. My pops had friends that'll check you. He had friends that my pops said, you catch them wrong, check them.
Right.
Like that, you know what I'm saying? That'll bring you, that have permission to check you if he caught you other than yourself, other than how he know your dad is raising you. If he caught you out there, he checking you.
Right.
I grew up in projects. And you got 1,000, 2,000 people living in one area. And you got the older cats that's running you back up on the balcony because he don't want you around what they doing.
Right.
So nah, you ain't ready for this. Take your ass back upstairs. And you couldn't even come down the stairs. Because they want to at least respect you to keep what they doing away from you. And they also respected, my pops was straight up OG.
Right.
They respected my pops. Because when he came through. It was a situation if somebody did anything around one of his kids. It was a problem.
See that was the era where the community was still holding on to the standards, the principles of taking care of the youth, raising children. Because I remember in the 80s, going into the 90s, I remember, because that's when I was young and starting to figure things out and learn things and run the streets. And like you said, all those things you speaking on, getting checked by certain elders, especially some of the men. Some of our homies' fathers or something creep up on us or something while we skipping school or we out there, showing out or something and shit, man, or just anything like, every time we did something in the neighborhood and all it took was just for one of the neighbors to look out the window and catch us in the act of doing something. The word was going to get back to our folks. It was going to get back and shit, even if they walked up there themselves and confronted us right in front of them. Like, yeah, fuck all that no snitching rule and all that shit wasn't even applied yet.
You're busted because your neighbor, is confronting you right in front of your parents. You busted.
You busted, indeed. So it was nothing you can do about it and shit, man.
Because on my balcony, it was apartment A to G. If you got caught wrong, chances are you got your ass whooped from apartment A to G. And G is where I lived. And G is the damn ultimate, brother. When you thought you got your ass whooped, when Big Pops get a hold of you, bro, whoo. When he got a hold, let me tell you something, brother. My pops was a good man. Like I said before, if you put all the men on the planet, bro, they said choose your father, I choose the one I had. That's who I would choose, the one I had. Out of all the men on this planet, I choose the father I had. That's how good of a father he was and good man he was. But he never broke a promise. Never broke a promise. He said, okay, Friday, I got you. You said you need some money. I got you. He gonna come give you that money. Those new kicks, the new jacket, he gonna come give you that money. He gonna get that jacket for you, the new kicks for you. If you say, boy, I'm gonna whoop your ass, you got that coming too.
He gonna keep his word.
He kept his word every time, bro. Got that coming too. You know, you're gonna take the bitter with the sweet. He didn't like doing it. He gave you warning after warning after warning after warning. But brother, when he get to the point that it's justified,
yeah,
it was called. That's the law, brother. He laid that law on
you. Indeed, so. And you know what? Being that you speaking on that, brother, I never thought about it like this until I was actually locked up. Everybody's thoughts run wild when you up in that damn cell. Your thoughts run wild up in there, man. You have different types of dreams and all that when you locked up, bro. It's totally different. But I didn't start thinking about it until then, and I started really like reflecting on my youth. And I remember like my uncles and them being around. And what I was thinking about was how I let my moms down. When that started sinking in on me, I started having these different thoughts, Bro.Nasir. And I was thinking about how I let my moms down because I know that she had raised me right. And I know everything that I had got jammed up on, I know for a fact that my mom's disapproved of. And she definitely told me to stay away from them damn streets. And she told me time and time again to stay away from them streets. Like she kept on telling me, like warning me. And, but I thought about it while I was in them joints. And I was like, man, like, I wonder how I would, because my mom used to discipline the hell out of me and to the point where she couldn't. As I got old enough to the point where she really just couldn't give me that ass whooping like she used to, but I was wondering and shit, I started thinking on how it would have been if I actually had my father in my life and shit, giving me that man discipline and shit, how my life would have been, how it would have made me think twice or how my decision makings would have been. Maybe it would have been different. You know what I'm saying? I thought about that.
My parents were two people who I just couldn't disappoint. I just didn't want to disappoint them. And, we was raised right. Some of us got in trouble, but I didn't do a lot of things because I thought about what it would do to my mother. I didn't do a lot of things because of that. I'm not going to say I didn't do some things, but certain things I say, nah, I can't do that because that would absolutely kill her. But those are two people I didn't want to disappoint. Again, Pops was a strong man, and we shared him with our friends. We shared him. Our friends came over. He put the gloves on with them and everything. Put the gloves on with them. The weights was accessible, And he squared up with them, showed them how to properly throw punches and how to stand and everything. He played, baseball coach and all that stuff. So he was a good man. We shared him. We didn't mind sharing them because those were our dudes. And same with moms. Everybody came to the house to eat. All our friends, all the projects came to the house to eat. But when you have good men around you, let me tell you this story. You know that song "You Give Me Fever"?
Yeah.
A friend of my father wrote that song.
Damn.
He wrote that song, and he used to hang. I met him through my dad. And I was about to straight up take this dude out of here, and he stopped me from doing it. Eddie Cooley stopped me from doing it.
Eddie Cooley.
That's who wrote the song "You Give Me Fever." He stopped me from doing it. He said, "I can't let you do that, man. I'm not gonna let you." He said, "Look, I got jump." He's a little short Indian dude, little short dude, man. Probably like 5'1", 5'2". He said, "I jump right on your back, but I can't let you do that. You're too good of a brother. You got too much going for yourself. I'm not gonna let you throw your life away for that." That's what he told me. I just backed off. That's some of the brothers that stopped me from doing things, among other brothers that I grew up around and grew up under. A lot of them was very protective, and if you just listen to them, they didn't tell you nothing wrong. They'll keep you. I mean, even some of them was unjust to themselves. They'll keep you away from that. It wasn't nothing perfect. They was doing things. They was doing their thing, but they'll say, "Nah, keep your ass away from here." They'll run you away from them because they didn't want you to get nowhere near what they was doing. Even like older brothers who weren't that much older than me, probably like 8, 9 years, 10 years. Man, I got brothers, man, that to this day, they look at me like, wow. They like my big brothers. I call them uncles. I call them big brothers. But they ran our ass away from them when they was doing their dirt.
Right.
They ran us away. It's not the order of the day today.
No, it's not.
You have to make a sale right in front of your grandmother today, bro. And she better not say nothing, or they'll do the unthinkable to an elder.
See, that's why I said, brother, you got just just the different gaps in the generations, man. It's so much of a distance that has just got lost with the epic code of how you treat one another and how you respect your neighbors as well in the community. Like I think about it and shit, bro. Like you opening up so many, you taking me down memory lane in my younger life. Shit, just talking to you right now, and I'm thinking about a whole lot of stuff, man. Because when you say that it's a lot of people who actually grew up with men around them and chose to be knuckleheads and stuff like that. It's now that I really reflect on it, because like I'm one of the people, I'm not gonna say I represent nothing, but I'm just saying I'm one of those who took on to looking on to other men in my life growing up that I looked at to as examples of strong men. That wasn't my father, because my father wasn't in my life. Yes, men sir. Like my uncles and my grandfathers and certain, like you said, certain neighbors and some of my homeboys that I grew up with, some of their fathers and some of my fucking coaches. Like I know certain coaches in the neighborhood that have been like not only good coaches, but like mentors and father figures to a lot of my homies. You know, not even me, like have sat and watched all of us grow up, you know, and know everybody and have spent that time because he didn't coach everybody. You know what I'm saying? He done seen us grow up from playing 65-pound or age 5 and 6 year olds all the way up into high school and stuff like that. So he know people and he done been around and you know, certain of us, you know, when we see them or bump into them in the streets or like he was just speaking about, you know, not only our parents or our moms, but our coaches who have been around us or have supported us and took us out, you know what I'm saying, and did things when our parents didn't have it or stuff like that. You know, there's always show support to us as well.
No doubt.
They were looked up to as like, you know, good manly figures, you know what I'm saying, representing a good manhood to be showing the youth as well. So, you know, it's a lot of other distractions that go on within the culture itself that promotes the lack thereof.
Let me tell you, brother, in my projects in building 2 on the ground floor, our dojo was there. That's where our dojo was. And when my father took me to learn martial arts, it was one of his homies who was a sensei. And he was like an uncle to me. My first instructor, but he was like an uncle to me. And he had like 3 generations of students. 3 generations of students. I was the second generation. My brother and his friends were the first generation. I was second generation. And he taught everybody around that surrounding area martial arts. Free of charge, bro. They charge us nothing. Didn't charge us a dime. Only thing we had to do, we had to buy our gi, and we had to you know, support financially when it came to promotions and the ceremonies. As far as the lessons, nothing. Taught us nothing. And I ended up later on, when he moved away, running that same dojo. When he left, I ran the dojo, the game room, and the weight room, the weight jump. We had all 3 rooms down there on the ground floor. There was a game room where we had the ping pong tables, the pool tables, the big screen TVs, and we had the weight room. Then we had the dojo. I ran all that eventually. Before they tore those projects down, I ran all of it. I went from student to teacher. And then I, you know, called other teachers because I couldn't, you know, I had to work. I couldn't just teach. So I called other teachers. So while I wasn't there, we had other teachers there. It was like a functional dojo. We was entering tournaments, straight up doing what we do when we enter those tournaments, put it that way.
Right.
Just another brother that, you know, affected my life. Kevin Thompson, Grandmaster Kevin Thompson's out of Newark and Montclair. Another brother I met through my instructor. World famous dude. He's world famous. Won everything there is to win in martial arts. Look his name up. Kevin Thompson, AKA Shaquille. Won everything there is to win. He got disqualified because Billy Blanks was complaining he hitting too hard.
Billy Blanks.
Billy Blanks, he beat his ass.
Billy Blanks is a little soft, little punk karate dude, wasn't he? Oh, I ain't gonna say that, but that's the dude that used to be on a little aerobics, little commercials, right?
Yeah, Tybo, he was in a few movies. Tybo thing eventually. Yeah.
Billy Blanks.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Warfare K is a Jersey cat. Warfare K is, I think the brother.
Shout out to the Wolf, man. Shout out to the Wolf.
Newark and Patterson, that's the boxing capital of Jersey, especially boxing. They got mad dojos up north, bro. Newark, Montclair, Patterson, they got dojos and boxing gyms all over that place. All over there. As a matter of fact, my cousins the ones that's professionals, Najee Lopez and Hakeem Tito Lopez, their fathers originally from Patterson. He met my cousin, they got married, had kids, and they professional fighters now. He's originally from Patterson. Warfare probably know him. I know a lot of cats from Patterson. Good brothers there, but that's the boxing capital right up there. That's where all the boxers come from. Peace to Warfare K. Peace to the brother Key Norfolk. Peace and power.
And peace and power to the brother Key Norfolk. And shout out to the world.
You know, those are some of the brothers that influenced me. You know, of course, you know, people in my, you know, faith. You know, of course, they yeah, Michael John White, Chai Apples, he's the truth. Michael John White is the truth, bro. I've been to
You know, I seen an interview with Michael John White. I think that was like last summer I saw that, bro. Seen an interview. I don't know if it was how old the interview was, but I saw it like last summer. And he was saying on that interview that he was even naming Bruce Lee. He was saying, man, all of those like world-known like martial arts that have been in all them movies and stuff. He's saying there ain't none of them real martial artists. He was saying they all movie fighters.
that's choreographed fighters, but you can go to and find some footage of Michael John White in actual tournaments. And he the truth.
Right.
He's the truth. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He don't choreograph nothing. That dude, man, I seen him do some stuff, man. You'd think he was on TV, bro. He's nasty, man. I'm telling you, Michael John White is nice. Kevin Thompson, his brother Milo, nice. And they was telling me about the same thing you speaking about. How they take these people who they want to push as a real martial artist, they make them stars. He said, yeah. But bring them cats to a tournament, man. They washed up.
Right. So they get devoured. And then so look, let me see, like this is all a part of manhood as well. I would say, in my opinion, you know, knowing how to fight and knowing that you need to be fit and able to fight just in case needs be. You know, because that's also another reason why a lot of the youth and plenty elders out here, I ain't gonna say elders like that, but you know, I ain't gonna just blame it all on the youth, but a lot of our people, as far as the men, are quick to grab that gun because they can't fight.
That's the truth, brother. They go quick to go in their waist because they can't fight. Let me tell you something. When cats used to get into a fight on the streets, we'll say, take it to the dojo. And they'll take it to the dojo. And they'll fight in the dojo. Isatita would be like, go. One of my instructors was on Sadetta's platform the other night. He's from New Brunswick. He had I forgot what he called himself now. Back then he called himself Hassan. I think he called himself Infadushi, something like that now. He was on Steinetta's platform the other night.
Oh, Infadushi?
That's one of my instructors, bro.
Oh, man, Infadushi. I used to watch Infadushi when I was an Israelite. I used to learn a lot of the...
Bro, he's nasty, man. That dude nasty. He's a nasty martial artist, bro. He used to teach us. He used to have black gold. He used to have like a bookstore and a dojo. He was nasty, man. I'm telling you, he's a good martial artist. One of my instructors.
I would have never known that.
Yeah, because of his demeanor. Because his demeanor, you'll never know he know all that until you try to put your hands on him. And that's what we're taught. You only fight with those who fight against you, you know. And plus the spirituality comes, you know, we taught not to be the aggressor, you know, but fight back. I always say, all I can promise you is that I won't start it. That's all I can promise you. They say it's going to be violence. I can't promise you that. Somebody hit me, you're going to be real violent out here. But I won't start it.
And like, you know, Bro.Nasir, I remember coming up. Like it was one. I remember it was a time where I know in the hood, I like. And man, everybody who's watching, or you know, that ain't no stranger to it. They know I'm from DC. You know, and I'm sure it's the, you know, basically equivalent in the same shit and make all the major cities the same way. But you know, in the hood though, it was, you know, it was a thing to where, like, I grew up around men to where they made sure that you basically wasn't gonna be no goddamn punk.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like even, you know, I remember I never did it. I'm not gonna tell you I did it and that's the truth. I never did it, but a few of my cousins and I've seen not only just my family members, but other people around me to where they done let somebody punk them, or you know, got into a fight at school or something, came home with a purple eye, with a black eye or something, and tell they pops or tell they moms or something shit what happened. Next thing you know, they father or one of their uncles, or you know, somebody who's close to them, their grandfather, somebody, they walking their ass back up to the neighborhood or where it went down there. They found out where the other youngin live, or you know, whatever corner, what block he hanging out on. And they run him up there and they, now you gonna take your ass out there, you gonna fight, you gonna scrap.
Yep.
And you ain't gonna let them get the best of you. Neither. You gonna beat his motherfucking ass. They boost your confidence up and everything. Take you out there, and then you go out there and shit. And no matter what go on and shit, it's gonna happen and shit. And then it taught you not only to learn how to fight, because as the more you grow up, and you know, just in the hood, you get into shit like that. You know, it's all types of temper flares in the hood. You get into stuff like that.
And
you know, somebody might punch you in your face and shit because you fouled too hard on the basketball court, and then you ain't got no choice but to throw the hands.
Yep.
It get, you know, any given time, some shit can go down like that. And shit. So, you know, but not only did it teach you to fight and stuff like that, it also taught you the mentality to not be scared, you know, and it also taught you know that you ain't gonna win every fight. You know, you learn, and you know, some fights you're gonna lose. You know what I'm saying? Just don't never let nobody punk your ass and treat you like that and shit like that.
Exactly. I see it like this. Even if you lose the fight, you gotta have it so he may have won, but he don't want to fight you again. That's how much of a fight you gave him.
Right.
I don't want that anymore. I beat him, but that motherfucker gave me a fight.
Yeah.
That's how you want the fight to end. I beat him, but I don't want to fight him no more. Because he was no easy win. He brought it to me, and he's not a punk. And you know, a lot of those guys, bros, today, we are inseparable. Inseparable. The cats that we grew up fighting, man, those are brothers today, man. You couldn't say nothing about one of us to one of those cats we grew up fighting. Right, those are my brothers right there. We fought like cats and dogs growing up, but we brothers now.
And let me say this too, Bro.Nasir. I don't know, because I know, like you said, it was you know, people was getting into martial arts and stuff like that. But I know in my city, like, we had a few that was doing that, but mainly it was more so boxing. And in the era I came up in, you know, like even if the elders was around, or like the older G's that was on the block, or they would see us getting into it or coming home from school or something, brothers from other neighborhoods walking over, or, you know, how we getting into it over the young girls and jealousy, and you know, like I say, it's all types of shit that be going on, and we just be getting into it as youngins in the hood. And you see some of the old heads over there, they watching something, everybody gang standing around and stuff. They will make sure that you fought fair. They would make sure it ain't gonna be no fucking jump, no 6-on-1, 5-on-1, and stuff like that. Like that. Even if they like we had certain elders, I know, like my uncles in them in particular, when they used to take my cousins and them out there and play around with us and go to the body with us and slap box and all that stuff and try to tighten our skills up when we was coming up, they would make sure that we wasn't just going to be no wrestlers and we wasn't scared to keep our head up, and we knew how to throw our hands. They, you know, like even when we was in real fights and they would sit back and let us get it off. They see like, them youngers got something on their chest, let them get it off. And they would see us out there on the block getting it in. And if they see somebody keep trying to body slam somebody or somebody scared to throw his hands, he trying to clip you up and stuff like that, they would intervene. They would intervene like, nah, throw them hands, get square up. Yeah, I grew up around elders like that, men like that.
I did too. But I grew up around elders that arrest the fight. I grew up around the elders that show you those tricks. I grew up around elders that show you to fake to the head and grab the pants leg, pull the pants leg up. You got one leg in the air, you catch him with a hook while you got his leg in his hand. Shit like that. You know, we used to do those tricks. You know what I'm saying? We'll pull somebody's pants leg up and turn him a flip, the type of thing. We had cats that show us all kind of crazy, you know, like the shoulder roll with the in boxing and certain sweeps, how to kick the leg up and have him, you know, go fall face down. Bro, I used to sweep a cat, man. I know he gonna fall. Turn my back on him. I put my feet under you, man. I know you're gonna fall. And I just walk away from you and hear you fall. Bang! Once I get my foot under you, when I kick the leg up, I turn my back on you.
And I'm gonna tell you something, brother. Honestly, I always wanted to learn martial arts when I was younger. I always wanted to know how to kick them.
It was my specialty, bro. My favorite kick is an outside crescent kick. Heel it. Outside kick with a heel. I land my heel right on top of the bridge of your nose. It's just my favorite.
Yeah, that's the shit I'm talking about. I used to want to know how to do that shit the right way. Shit.
Outside crescent kick. That's my favorite kick.
You gotta know how to do all of that shit, man. Because I'm telling you, I done been in the streets, man. I'm telling y'all, man. I'm humble now. But I done did some shit in my past that I will not glorify these days. You know what I'm saying?
Hell no.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, the same way you gotta throw your punch the right way. If not, you're going to damage one of your fingers. You're going to damage your wrist. You know what I'm saying? If you don't throw your punch the right way, you got to know how to kick the right way as well. You're damage one of them
kind of trying to kick and punch, because you get caught with one leg in the air, your ass is done.
Yeah.
So you better learn how to kick hard and fast, and that person's not supposed to see it coming. And that's how I throw it.
I kicked somebody before and had boots on. I want to say I had on some Timberlands. I don't know if it was like some buttons or something. It's probably like some black quarter cut level ones we used to wear back in the day, man. But I kicked somebody before, and not only did I jam my fucking pinky toe and shit. No, not my pinky toe, the one next to the pinky toe. I jammed that toe, and my damn like ankle was kind of like hurting. The damn it twisted my ankle the way that I kicked him. The way the dude was on the ground, and I was kicking him. I felt that shit out. So I know what you're saying and shit.
Well, look.
But you got to know how to kick people the right way and all that. It's a certain way that you're supposed to. I know you know because you're a martial artist. I know you know.
If we have Brother Kyrie on this platform right now, he'll tell you when we go shopping for suits, the criteria for me buying a suit, I will put the pants on and I'll put the jacket on, and because you know I'm securing the minister, so I gotta be able to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To go down in a suit if need be. And just imagine, I'm wearing heels. So if I hit you with an outside crescent kick and I heel that kick, and I catch you with the heel on the bridge of your nose with some heels, actual heels,
It's a wrap.
Curtains, bro. Show over.
It's a wrap.
Show is over. Because what I usually do, I usually will sweep first and kick on the way down. I sweep first, the person's falling, and I just bang, kick them on the way down.
Mm.
And that's that person out the fight. They done. But I started working on, because I don't like to kick so much, so I started working on my blocks and breaks. Every block is a break. I don't just block. Somebody throws something at me, I don't just block it. If I block something, I'm breaking what I block.
Mm.
You won't throw their hand again.
Damn, bro, this is good, man. You got me reflecting and everything, bro. But I'm telling you, bro, I remember, bro, like I even seen the eras of when, like you say, brothers, we used to fight and be friends in a few days, or
yeah, the next day, later on that day, bro, you're best of friends later on.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, or if somebody still feeling a certain way, shit, we gonna squabble again. That's what it was. And then it got to the era where I remember in my city, it got to an era where certain neighborhoods, certain crews that was coming on certain blocks, because we didn't have gangs when I was growing up. Not in DC, it was no gangs.
No, it wasn't what I was going to either. It was turf.
Yeah, it was certain people rapping their block or certain projects or certain
exactly
little Section 8 little housing little areas and shit like that. Certain people will rep their corners and shit like that where they do their thing and shit, but it wasn't no gangs.
Bro, I have 4 brothers.
Yeah.
I have 4 brothers. My father always kept boxing gloves and weights. You're gonna bulk up, you're gonna learn how to throw them hands. We always had boxing gloves ever since I can remember in our house, and always had weights. Always had heavy bags, speed bags, pads. We always had boxing gear in the house. And I had 4 brothers. We had to thump. We had a problem with each other. My father laced us up. Let's go. And he'll ref it.
Right.
He'll ref the fight. He said, we're not going to go hard now because we ain't trying to hurt. We just going to let y'all, get that steam off. That's what it's about, bro. We had turf too. Bro, my city is 5 mile by 5 mile. I don't care which way you go. If you go driving, you're out of my city. It's that small. But don't get caught slipping. That's what I'm saying. Don't get caught slipping in a little small city.
Yeah. And I remember, bro, like it went from squabbling. When the brothers get they beef, and we squabble. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that, few brothers wasn't taken to the gunplay, but that was more the OGs dealing in the drug game and shit like that. Like for us as youngins who were just in the streets or just sniffing our way, trying to do what the OGs doing or shit like that. Like we were getting in fights all the time over different turf wars, over different girls. We'd be up in them little go-go scenes, up in the clubs, up in the parties and shit like that. And people repping their block and repping their hood, and fights would start that way. Somebody a little too drunk or feeling a certain type of way and get into it. And I'm telling you, I remember at one point in time, it got to this point where before all the youngins started putting them guns on their hand and shooting everybody up, they was beating the motherfuckers to death by jumping them and shit, man. Like,
yeah. Down on you, bro. Cats will run down on you.
Run down on you and shit, man. Catch you coming out one of the markets or something, you and your homie or something. Shit, it's about 7 or 8 of them, and they trying to give y'all that work.
That's true. That's true, brother. They would jump you. Cats would jump you, bro. Back then, this was in the 80s. I was a young man back in the 80s. In my 20s back in the 80s.
Yeah.
So them cats will jump you, bro.
Yes, sir. I've been
on the wrong side of town. Oh, bro, shit.
yeah. Indeed, so that's they fooling with somebody's girl or one of somebody's ex-girl in a different neighborhood or something.
Tell you this, brother, and I'm not saying it because it's me. I went anywhere I wanted. I went anywhere I wanted to go. I had 2 people run up on me one time.
Yeah.
One time. I was up on, on another part of the side of town. They seen me, they ran up on me. I swept one, and I used to carry extended metal nunchucks, extended metal joints. I start swinging them shits, walking towards them. So come on. As dude got up from being swept, I just started walking towards both of them, and they just left me alone. And by that time, my man Freddie came running across the street and got back to back with me. They definitely didn't want it then. They definitely didn't want it then. That's the only time somebody ever tried to run up on me. They didn't know who I was. That's what it was. They didn't know who I was. I swept that joker so fast when he got a hand reach, I swept him. Not necessarily swept him. I kicked his leg up. I kicked his leg up and his feet went up and he just bang fell to the ground.
Motherfuckers don't want to fuck with you, bro.
I mean, I walk around humble, bro. You will never know what I know, bro. I walk around humble. And I tell you I don't want it. I tell you I don't want it. I tell you I don't want it. You know why I tell you I don't want it? Because it takes you seconds to get yourself in years of trouble, bro. Seconds. I always tell young brothers that it takes you seconds to get yourself in years of trouble. You hit somebody and their endurance level can't take what you're given and you kill them, you're in a lot of trouble that fast. You're in a lot of trouble that fast. Just imagine, bro. Cat run up on you. I mean, you're gonna defend yourself, but I'm saying those who are out here pushing their weight around. You out here, you out here not trying to avoid stuff, and you with it. You know what I'm saying? It takes you seconds, bro. You be in a whole lot of trouble.
Right.
And you holding your head in the jail, man, like, damn, I should have walked away, or you know what I'm saying? I should have walked away from it. That's why I would tell somebody I don't want it. Man, I got a beautiful wife upstairs in the room, bro. I ain't trying to be away from her.
Motherfucking right.
Trying to be away from her, bro. And then the fact that I don't want to do harm to my own people. I try to avoid that. See, a lot of, like I tell people all the time, I could thank the Nation of Islam, bro, for me not being involved in a lot of stuff because I was in it young. I was in it real young.
I can attest to that when I'm telling you and shit because I say this all the time. You know, like I would say that I didn't start taking my life serious.
Exactly.
Until I became an Israelite. And I know people will look at that crazy because it's a religion, but the way that I took it in and applied the discipline, not the religion itself, but the discipline of
well, look how they want, brother Greedy. The Nation of Islam. When I joined the Nation of Islam, my city was motherfucking ignited. Full-fledged war when I joined the nation, bro. Cats getting shot, cats getting killed, cats, like you said, rolled up on, you couldn't get caught on the wrong side of town. That's how my city was when I joined.
Right.
86, 87, my city was on fire.
You said 86?
Yeah.
Damn, that was prime crack era.
Bro, my city was on fire at that time.
I can imagine. I already know.
But you know who stopped all the violence?
The Nation of Islam.
A good brother who was a police officer, was a brother who brought the Nation of Islam and brought both sides to one area and squashed the beef. And there hasn't been no beef since. That's 30 plus years ago. A good brother did that. Who was a police officer in the city.
Because like the one thing that I can say that I learned when I say that the Israelite thing made me start taking my life serious. It taught me like to look at my people as more of a brotherhood than just
exactly
another nigga and shit.
Exactly.
You know, like the discipline of applying myself to be righteous. What I learned through that helped me not want to be so quick to take it there with another brother. He's no longer just another nigga now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's another brother to me now. It's a difference.
Brother, it's been so long since I had the mindset that, you know, when I look at another brother, I see him as that, a brother. The only time I will refer to somebody as a nigga when they acting other than themselves. When they just sell out as Negro, don't have no love for our people, that's a nigga to me. Other than that, before I see that, that's brother. But that Negro has potential to be a brother, because perhaps he don't have knowledge of self. All of us don't have knowledge of self. Some of us got to be taught. So it's up to, you know, in our lessons, it says the duty of a civilized man is to teach the uncivilized. That's what our lessons tell us. We got to teach them. We can't outright dismiss them and shun them. We got to try to teach them.
You know, like you said, the lessons, once you apply it to yourself, all of that comes with it. All of that comes with it. Like it's going to take you somewhere else mentally to where it's supposed to give you that humility to be able to help your brother instead of hurt.
Yeah.
It's supposed to give you that.
I'll tell a brother fast, I'm not your enemy, bro. I'm not your enemy.
Not only that, with the sisters as well, because you know, like that.
That too. Certainly.
The lesson straightened me up with that also. Like once I started to believe in that particular religion that way, and I got a full understanding of what you would call promiscuous sex, fornication, adultery, and like we talk about the manhood, not taking the responsibilities of what it takes to to be a family man. Because I remember my young life, even up into my 20s, like I didn't have my first child until I was 28 because I didn't want to have children and shit like that, bro. Like I was turned out by the streets to where I guess I was selfish in a way to where I just didn't want to settle down with no woman. I always wanted to keep a woman around me, but I ain't really want to settle down and have no children and shit. And once they started talking that stuff, I would basically just move the fuck on and shit, man, and go do the next thing with another woman and shit. But once I got into that, did that time and learned that Israelite and started applying them laws of discipline to myself, it even straightened me up with the woman and shit. To even made me want to settle down and have a child. Like
isn't it something how when you're in an area, how you can reflect and you can think when you can't move, brother? You start reflecting then, right?
Yeah.
if I coulda, woulda, shoulda, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You reflect then. You didn't want
Right.
to reflect when you was able to roam free around here. You don't want to
Right.
reflect then. But once you
Right.
get somewhere, confide, you start thinking and you start reflecting then. So my perspective of life was fucked up out there. I better change up. This ain't where it's at. I got to straighten up. I can't be up in here, This ain't where it's at.
This ain't life at all here.
What the brother say? This can't be life, man. You start reflecting.
Yeah. And what? Yeah, though, brother. Taking you hit on something strong with that when it comes to manhood, man. Man, taking life serious. It even starts with its own life, man. Because I spoke on this before. And it triggered some people. Some men, some young-minded men, I would say. But I spoke when I said, it get to when you get to a certain age in your life as a man. I was speaking on men in particular. You have to you shouldn't have that same mentality of running from woman to woman and house to house and stuff like that. Like, even if you had to do all the shit at a certain age and you're a man, you should want to be established and shit and be grounded some motherfucking way and shit with one that you motherfucking want to grow old with and shit like that. You see what I'm saying? Like, how the hell you fucking 40-something years old, get ready to turn 50 and shit and still rolling around here like you a player? Like, what the fuck?
You about to die alone doing that shit.
I was like, what the fuck?
You about to die alone doing that.
Yeah, I said this shit, man. When we want to talk about statistics and all this other shit, like, man, that shit ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm talking about the mentality of a man. Shit, man. Like, you can't be that old and shit, man, and still got time to be living your life like that. That means that you still ain't taking life serious.
Goes back to what I said, brother. Think everything's about fun and games. You want to play all the damn time.
You still playing shit.
It comes a time when you got to get serious. You have to get serious with it. Look, this is, who I'm going to make my wife is going to be me and her until one of us is taken out of bed. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Right.
It's going to be me and her.
Right.
It comes a time you have to start thinking like that. You see a guy. I mean, bro, look, it's the same as seeing a guy in his 40s, man, sagging his goddamn pants, man. Refuse to damn grow up. What we say in our last lucid thinking, brother, he's a damn Toys R Us kid. Don't want to grow up.
Man, dude.
You think if he grow up, he said, because if I did, I wouldn't be a Toys R Us kid. So you don't want to grow up. You gotta grow your ass up.
Hey, we don't know shit. Like, you have to be real and shit, man. Some, like they say, first impression is everything and shit, man. You at a certain age and shit, man, you still single. Like, which ain't nothing wrong with it. I ain't saying something wrong with being single. But if you at a certain age and shit and you just still got the mind frame to where you don't want to really take it serious, you still want to live like you're 18, you just want to date, you just want to hit and leave things be, promiscuous sex, roll on to the next one. All these diseases and stuff out here these days, take chances with all of these damn trans apps and all this out here. Like, man, the way the world is now, and a man in his 40s getting ready to be around the corner from 50, and you still living like that out in the world like that today, that is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. I want to live like I'm 58, brother. That's how I want to live. I'm very content, brother, with going to work and coming home to my wife and just chilling. We have two leather lazy boys right next to each other. We want to chill and watch TV. That's what we do. We want to go somewhere. We get in the vehicle. We go. I'm content with that. I don't need nothing else, brother. I don't need nothing. I want to live like I'm going to act my age, not as I used to say back in the day, not my shoe size. Some of them at their shoe size, bro.
Yeah, man, that's real though, man. It's some things you have to change. That's another thing I can say that I learned as an Israelite and shit, particularly from the Bible and shit. Okay, who got a problem with it and shit? He said, when I was young, I did things as a child.
Yes, sir.
But when I became a man, I put away those childish things.
Yes, sir. You have to put away those childish things, brother.
Had to put them away, man.
Gotta think as a man.
Yeah.
You gotta, you know. My grandfather used to tell me an old fool used to be a young fool. It's real. That's real shit there. Old fool used to be a young fool.
Even fools grow.
Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know the term they used to say for back in the day, you can't let your dick think for you. You thinking with the wrong head, man. Like, God damn, you had to get you into all kinds of problems.
I always used to say
that. Real talk, man. Yeah, now to put away some of the childish things, man. That's the arguing and high emotional over certain things.
Yes, sir. You got, I mean, bro.
Man.
Overly emotional dude, man, irks my nerves, does something to my spirit, brother. I'm like, would you, I mean, I see it on the platforms, you know, when, you know, God forbid, you know, a woman has something to say and they interrupt and she can't even get 3 words out, can't even finish a sentence. I'm like, oh. So here we go. We about to start an argument with one of the sisters, huh?
Yeah.
So can we get the feminine energy that's on the platform to, like, you know, come forward? It's like, wow.
Oh, shit. Would you say, see, you know, that's what I'm saying, shit, brother. Like in society today, it's hard to really really pinpoint and distinguish and tell exactly what we're asking. You know, how can you tell? You know, because like there can be some cases where, like, you know, certain rap figures or certain TV shows, certain trendy little cliche sayings that they went around from popular, I guess you would call them influencers and stuff like that, to where it has people thinking that life is a certain way, and so many different things now is acceptable or tolerated when it once was not. You see what I'm saying? So, like,
yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying, brother. This society is totally backwards. You know, because we have to go with, you said the word influence. Back when I was growing up, the number one influence on me was my parents.
Mm.
That was my parents. My parents, probably, I'm going to say myself. My parents, my martial arts instructor, then anybody who would be in a schoolhouse. You know, and back then when I was growing up, I wasn't into no religion. My introduction to any type of faith was the Nation of Islam. Before then, my parents didn't take us to church and none of that shit. They didn't do that. They just taught us right from wrong. That's it. There was no church, none of that. But in that order, it was my parents, my martial arts instructor, and anybody in a school. I'm gonna honestly say, I had good teachers. They gave me what America had to offer, and they wasn't these teachers that that beat you out the school. I had a lot of teachers that looked like me in my when I was growing up. And not only that, they became friends with my parents. So if you cutting up in school, they get on the phone, they call my parents, and my parents come up to the school and handle you. That's how it was. But today, the number one influence is the number one influence on young people today is young people. That's backwards. That's backwards. Parents don't influence the children today. The number one influence on young people is young people. They don't want nothing to do with religion, rightfully so. They don't want nothing to do with education, which is indoctrination. But you have to get what they have to offer. You know, it's like this. When it comes to learning, some of us have to have our fruits pitted before we eat it. Because some of us don't know how to eat the fruit and spit out the pit. And some of us even need the fruit pureed because it's hard for them to digest information. Because they go about knowing and they don't want nothing to do with understanding. Absolutely nothing. That's why we got a bunch of babbling fools on these platforms today. They just know. They don't understand. And then, some will call themselves master teachers, bro. Some will call themselves master teachers on these platforms. That's not a master teacher in all of fucking YouTube, bro. Including myself. Anybody who put that on themselves is a damn fool.
Oh man. Master teacher. Man, look. Before I can even go there on the master teacher thing and shit, man, I want to rewind a little bit and go back to something that was just like so heavy that you said, brother. You said nowadays in this society, that the youngins, the youth, is being influenced by the youth.
Yes, sir.
What? God damn, man. Where are we at with that and shit? I mean, I don't understand how.
I'm going to say it like this, good brother. I'm going to tell you why. Because some frozen of a reason, and I hear it a lot, the generation before us or the generations before us dropped the ball. That's the number one thing people say. They dropped the ball. Okay. Maybe they did drop the ball, but you are benefiting and you are enjoying the yardage that they got while they had the ball. pick up the goddamn ball and run into the end zone. You're going to see the ball and say, oh, you dropped the ball, but you're not picking it up? Are you serious? I'm getting so tired of hearing young people say somebody dropped the damn ball and they see the ball on the ground and won't pick it up and run into the end zone. Go and score. Go score. What, you scared to pick the ball up? You know why? Because a tackle come with that if you don't got no blocking.
Man. Man. Oh, man.
You know, you got a lot of cats that sit behind these computers and talk about those who came before us. And they're not doing nothing. Not a damn thing, but talking about those who have done the least bit. The least bit. If you did nothing, you can't talk about somebody who did the least bit. None of us could. With all we have, Brother Greedy, with all we have is information that we can get with the click of a damn mouse. They didn't have that back then. They didn't have it. All we got is a bunch of damn condescending knowledge freaks that like to intellectually masturbate and getting off undermining those who came before us. But you're enjoying what they did when they stood and acted on our behalf. You're enjoying it today.
So let me get this straight. They don't want to, you don't want to take nothing, no heed or advice. I get it from someone who is your age. So, someone who is of your generation. That's who's supposed to be the smartest today, the people and the wisest. All the wisdom that you can acquire is supposed to come from people of your generation.
That's how some of us, that's how some of us think, brother. But I never thought that way because I surrounded myself around elders and I listened attentively. Yet, you know, it's good to have a camaraderie with your you know, your peers. That's a good thing. But I'm gonna use this analogy. Let's say a young Floyd Mayweather, when he first started fighting, picture somebody his age training him. Picture somebody his age training him. You think if my father walked me into the dojo at age 9 and I seen a 9-year-old in there, you think I'm gonna go back? That 9-year-old is not gonna teach me like I'm supposed to be taught. I need an elder to teach me. Somebody who's been down that street before is the only person that can tell me what's down the damn street. Only person that can tell me what's down the street or what's at the fork in the road. Never did it. These jokers just beginning life them damn selves. How the hell they gonna tell you about life? Even though some of us, at young age, went through it. They can tell you about something about life personally, but overall, hell no. No. I understand truth through the mouth of babes. You can learn from a young person. Yes, you could. You can learn a lot from a young person if you just watched them. But I don't like that the generation before us dropped the ball. No, I don't do that, man. You're supposed to pick the ball up. You see that they dropped it. And that's why we're in the condition we're in, because The other team picked the ball up. Period. We won't pick it up, so the other team picked the ball up and run it towards their way because we refuse to pick it up.
Man, that like you said, bro, that's heavy right there. That, you know, I don't think many people really take into consideration that whole frame of mind when you take that in. When you realize that the people who are considered to be the next generation to come, the future,
yes, sir,
don't want to learn anything from the elders, from the ones who came before them.
But you know what, brother? That's only our thinking. Our people is the only people who think like that. Our people are the only people who disrespects their elder and undermine their elders. As fucked up as their forefathers are, they revere them. And they know what they did all over the damn world, but they still revere them. You think Joe Biden's son don't love him and his family don't love him, or Donald Trump's family? I don't care. Republicrats. I call them. That's how I put the two words together. Republicrats. You think these people who came before us, like, you know, who ran this country, excuse me, their family or their people don't revere them? They revere those people. Overall, it's a few that is anti-establishment. It's a few. But overall, they revere their people, regardless of how messed that Mount Rushmore, people are at awe with that Mount Rushmore. We're so at awe with it, we start making our own. The Mount Rushmore of hip hop, the Mount Rushmore of this.
God damn. Man. Dude, that shit is fucking, it's just blowing my mind right now on how you put that, this whole influence thing, man. Like, wow. So when it comes to, you know, that is how much of a mental catastrophe they have put on us as a people.
Yes, sir.
You know, you're so messed up mentally that you don't even respect your elders, the ones who came before you, the ones who brought you into this world. You don't want to listen to them and take heed to them. You don't. They got you so messed up in the head that every one of your elders who you will want to acknowledge or give type of reverence to, somebody got to find fault in it and put it out there in the air.
Yes, sir.
And it's spread like a fucking cancer and shit, and everybody jump on the bandwagon and regurgitate the same bullshit.
Basically. That's what goes on most case scenario, bro.
Man.
Let me tell you something. You know what? If you're not saying anything that somebody else didn't say, which is utterly impossible to say something that somebody else didn't say. But a lot of cats, they'll get on, they'll Google this, they'll Google that, and they'll act like they originated the shit, bro. You didn't originate that. You got that from somebody else. So it's automatically that I call them, you know, they're like you said, regurgitators. And most of these cats look for fault, bro. They don't look for they look for aha, not a eureka.
And let me say this too, man. You know, I gotta keep this shit genuine, bro. I got to. You know, a lot of those, because this is a it's a cliche thing. It's something that, and I'm gonna tell you how it happens. Like you know, we all know that the conscious community is full of many different, or I should say, various different schools of thought.
Yes.
With different backgrounds and different perceptions on the origins of the world. So, you know, you have certain teachers who have came up and sprung up throughout the conscious community throughout the years and have made it their personal business to attack other religious sects and other groups and call themselves exposing their faults and their things that, you know, he or she or their organization or their sect don't agree with, something that their teachers don't align with. And within time, once it's recorded and put out there, a lot of those cliches from those original teachings, those sayings, they become cliches for everybody else who got a problem with that said sect, or, you know, and many different sects do this, many different teachers, many different so-called, what you just call them, master teachers of their, you know, of their school of thought. They do a lot of this, man. They because you know, we used to do it when we was when I was an Israelite. You know, we used to go into the works of Prophet Muhammad just because we used to war with the Muslims, and we would find all types of fault and, you know, and put out the you know, the sentiments that he was illiterate and he was an Arab camel driver, basically a today's taxi cab driver and stuff. You know, we used to do stuff like that, and people will hear it, and they will go home and talk to somebody else who they got a problem with, or they don't like their demeanor or their personality from the Islam that they learned, or the son that they believe in, and they'll start singing that shit into their head and putting that up in their household into the ears of those people. That same statement, it become a cliche, and it travels around like a damn cancer, like a wildfire amongst the people. And that's how it starts. And then here we is today with all of, you know, in a world full of cliches. You know, it got us in a mental frenzy as a people, to where those cliches have ruined your perspective on your elders. So now you can't even trust them. You don't want no dealings with them. And like you said, they done dropped the ball and you left it there.
Exactly. It's crazy, bro. You refuse to pick the ball up and run it.
Damn, man. And you say these people ain't, you know, people wasn't enslaved and shit like that, man. You wonder how in the hell did most niggas get mind frames like this, man?
Yeah. I mean, where did the fear come from? That's why I wonder, where did the fear come from?
Man.
There's an origin. There's some type of origin to the fear, brother. And we have to get to the bottom of that in order for us to, like, you know, move on. We got to get to the origin of the fear. And a lot of our people, they're afraid to get to work, even if it's their life that depend on it. They don't want to get to work because that accountability and knowing, some of us think we had a truth. I say that. We think that we had a truth. I'm not even saying that I have the truth, but some of us think that we have a truth. But if all we're going to do with that truth is just, okay, we're going to sit down amongst the brothers and we're going to prove to each other how much we know more than the next brother or sister, that shit to me is old, bro. And play the hell out. It's just old. it's going to come a time. A lot of us don't want to learn the truth because that truth is accountability, and you are held accountable for what you know, brother, and understand. And if you are not acting on that truth, acting on it, and doing something with that truth that you say you know, come on, bro. I mean, sitting on the platform, bro, and spewing the truth. I'm about to show what I do. I might necessarily show, but you know what I mean? Because I don't like doing stuff with people and having cameras in their face. That's something I don't like doing.
Right.
You know, a lot of people do that for clout, but that's something I don't like doing. It's just doing stuff with people and cameras in their face, and they already in a humble position. You got cameras. No, I don't like doing that. That's not my style. But we have to start somewhere, though, brother.
Dude, you say, man, you gotta start somewhere. It's very hard to pinpoint exactly where because of how society has made people, man, how they have molded people's mentality, man, to not even, you know, like we said it all in the beginning. It's like we just really like breaking down a lot of the words and statements that you laid forth in the very beginning of this show. The lack thereof.
Yes.
When it comes to the men even being leaders amongst our people, like, you know, the best leader is the one who leads by example. And, you know, is this what we have to show? The way that we treat our elders.
But brother, how could we see
the way we treat our women and stuff like that? The way all this types of attitude and all that, man. Like, oh man, like where do you start?
Yes, sir.
Where do you start?
How are we able to determine what's wrong? And that's all we do. Is determine what's wrong. You know what kind of accountability you have if you've been sitting on that, brother. You know what's wrong and you're not doing a damn thing about it. But get amongst the people and say, you know, I know what's wrong. No, you're supposed to be on God to work before you know what I'm saying, and have people joining you and doing what you're doing. So to point out what's wrong. And not no call to action how to remedy the situation. That's what we're supposed to be doing, remedying the situation that we see. That individual can tell us everything that's wrong without getting to work. And that's crazy to me.
And you know, I see it like you know, when it comes to us as a whole, as a people, as a nation in this country, the way that we're treated and, you know, and been, you know, disrespected and placed on the bottom and, you know, discriminated and all of that, man, systematically racism, man, it's so much that has been going on with us. You would think that all of that would have you want to trust in one another to get yourselves out of it. You would think just the way that they treat us alone as a people, you would think that it will want to make us not want to fuck with nobody but us. You see what I'm saying? Like you would think that the situations that they put people in, like you seem like it's kind of like you forcing everybody's back against the wall. Now we ain't got no choice but to fight. You would think at that time would have been Cain, but it's like it don't. And you kind of see why. You kind of see why, because a lot of the so-called teachers and the influencers, in the so-called role models and the idols, you know, the people, the ones who people idolize and just gotta give ear and energy to their word and their likeness and their, you know, appearances and stuff. Like all of these people they serve a detriment to us. Man.
Yes, sir.
They serve a detriment, man.
That goes back to when we, one of our discussions we had before. Nobody should sell us out and not be held accountable. Nobody. It should be a dire consequence to sell an entire nation of people out. And I'm going to go on, record of saying that today, April 12th, 2024, our condition is our goddamn fault. Our fault. Because we have many people that came before us that gave us something that if we just put to practice that it would work. And we cannot sit around and complain about our condition when all we have to do is unite. All we have to do is unite. And that's not it, just unite. All we have to do is unite with a damn plan and carry out the plan. If anybody get in the way of what we plan, they suffer a dire consequence.
Right.
We refuse. Look, bro, we let others come on the lowest to the highest level to separate one from the other. Pull one of us away from us as a group of people. Because some of us, we will sell out for a little of nothing. And we think we're bigger than the rest of us. One person think they're bigger than the rest of us. They do that on the lowest level, brother. Okay? You take, anybody who was in the group, in entertainment. Somebody ended up going solo, right?
Right.
Because somebody whispered in their ear to make them think that they're bigger than the damn group. Michael left the Jackson 5. Bobby left New Edition. David Ruffin left the Temptations. Smokey Robinson left the Miracles. Teddy Pendergrass left Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. I mean, somebody comes and whisper to them and say, okay, you should go solo. And have one of us thinking that we're bigger than the rest of us. When our unity, not just being together, because a lot of times, being together be disastrous, us being together. We have to have and devise a solid plan when we do come together and carry out things, and everybody pull our resources. But it's as if we refuse to do that, and that's why we remain in our condition. We refuse to do anything. We got all these thinkers that say they want the same thing for our people, but nobody willing to work together and do a goddamn thing collectively. But they say they want the same thing for our people. You're not working for the same goal if you got individual goddamn goals. You're not. But that's our thinkers, our intellectuals' mentality. Why? Because somebody want to be a damn star above everybody else. Want to shine. Let me tell you something, brother. My minister, Minister Abdul Kareem Muhammad, this brother from Maine all the way to Florida, most of those ministers he put on post. He made them ministers. And he don't speak. He trained them as ministers, and he sit back and let them shine. He never tried to shine above the men and women he put on post. Some of the prominent ones, brother, he put on post, bro. Right down there where you at, Minister Kadir. in the Washington, D.C. mosque.
Yeah.
On post. Hafiz in New York, put him on post. Dr. Ayla, put her on post. Don, put him on post. Jamil, put him on post. All the prominent ministers on the East Coast, he put them on post. They give him his flowers, but he ain't out there trying to shine. He's behind the scenes. You know why? He's an elder. It's about getting the work done. Me, I believe in elders for counsel, young for war. But I'm not going to tell that's one thing about the minister. He's not going to tell nobody to do something he's incapable of doing or he haven't done. That's what it's about. We don't even realize that all we have to do is something simple. And we can change our dynamic. We refuse to. We refuse to see each other as brothers and sisters. We refuse to. Refuse to. And that's why we're in the condition we're in now, because we refuse to come together on one accord. Somebody's going to have something bad to say about somebody. Even if you're the best brother or sister, they're going to hold that against you. Call you a goody two-shoes. Because you have it in your heart to want for your brother and your sister what you want for yourself. People hold that against you.
Like, the more I think about it, every time we have these discussions, bro, I'm like, man, I don't know where to even start sometimes. Shit, bro, like, it's just like, yeah, man, we just like in this mental, I don't want to call it a war, but it's like a mental, like, sleep state, to where people just can't see the bigger picture. The bigger picture. Everything got to get in between or come in the way and block them from seeing the bigger picture. Like, man, we all have the power to do so much shit if we're in unison with one another on one accord. But until then, nothing will never happen. It'll never be established because, like you're speaking on now, and I've been speaking on this lately. It's like it's just been in my spirit to just talk about it, like the order and the structure of people as well.
Yes, sir.
People don't respect the order and don't want to take order from people. They don't want to take it. Like, you even show that when it comes to dispersing the information to try to liberate the people and train them or get them to unlearn and relearn a new way. That's still done in a faulty way because of the egos and the no humility and the lack of patience to teach and stuff like that. You know, it's so much, and you wonder why we're in the conditions we're in now. And like you said, none of that really matters if we will all see the simplistic, bigger picture. The simple thing, just the bigger picture of shit, man, that we need each other. We need each other. Just as simple as that. We need each other.
It's something that I'm gonna quote the brother Key Norfolk, something that he said a long time ago that resonated with me. He said that we have to meet people where they at. Just because you have your eureka moment and you have this higher knowledge or level of understanding, and you encounter a brother or sister who's not on your level, somebody was patient with you. So you got to have patience too. Meet people where they at and build from there. And none of us know it all or got our shit together like it really should be. So, you know, when we turn people away because of whether they believe, perhaps what they believe is what gravitated you towards them in the first place. But you're going to turn them away for the reason I just don't believe in that, bro. I just don't believe that, because certain people move sometimes because of their spirituality moves them a certain way. Or at least that's what they think. But if it's moving them to help and bring our people to a better, condition, leave that alone. I'm not going to say, oh, you this or you that, or you believe this or you believe that. If that brother's doing some work, leave that alone. Especially if you ain't doing a damn thing. I don't care. I said it before, bro. I would take a hog eater who's fighting and standing on behalf of our people, and that brother or that sister is going to work. They can eat all the damn chitlins they want. over some vegan punk who ain't doing a goddamn thing. I'm a vegan.
You and that shit.
I'm a vegan, but the all you doing is vegan and shit. But you ain't doing nothing else. But this hog eater is handling business on behalf of our people. I'm with the hog eater.
Oh shit! God damn, bro.
We can deal with that later. We can deal with that as soon as I get able to, because I want to keep him around here. I don't want him dying of hypertension and heart attack and shit. So we'll deal with that later. But he's working. The vegan dude is sitting on his ass veganing and shit. That's all he's doing is veganing.
Oh shit. Damn. And you know what too, brother? That's in the sense that's looking at it in a way of seeing it like a lot of us want. They able to realize and correct some of their imperfections. Not saying they got them all to where that they are perfect now, but they realized that they had some, because like you said, they were humble enough to accept the knowledge and got them to where they knowledgeable enough, to teach you what you is now. So they got rid of a lot of the imperfections that they once had before.
Yes, sir.
But the way you go about trying to disperse it and get someone else to see where you're coming from, you want to go with them as if they supposed to already be perfect. They supposed to already have got those imperfections out. You have to have patience with them. I see exactly what you're saying.
Have patience. Somebody was patient with you.
The imperfect is demanding the perfect out of somebody. Like
yep. Yes, the imperfect is demanding perfection, bro. And we put that pressure on our people so much. We would dismiss a brother or a sister for a meager imperfection, brother. A meager imperfection.
As if like they supposed to be perfect.
Exactly. Oh, he stole a pack of nominators when he was in the 7th grade. Oh, bro, he threw them away. Meager imperfection. We throw our people away for it. Regardless of how much work the brother or sister did, we find out something about them and we want to have this, expose about them. We want to expose this and expose that, but you don't want to talk about the good the brother or the sister did. Don't want to talk about that.
All that get thrown out.
They just throw that out, brother. Throw it out.
That's like the Dr. Sebi thing you said. I know I can bring him up for a good reason. There's a lot of people who will dismiss all of Dr. Sebi's teachings. You know, and I'm not saying I agree with all of them. I'm just saying I've seen this out there before. I've seen people discredit everything that he's saying because they've heard a certain interview or they have seen a writing or somebody else have told them that Dr. Sebi ate fish or used to eat fish or however something that I haven't went and shit, but damn, that's crazy. You know, like
bro,
we got a weird way of seeing things, man. Like the whole frame of mind is just crazy amongst our people.
And what's crazy about it, bro? You got people who are out in the public, and you have some that would lay it on the line as far as who they are, all of it. And then you got the one who haven't done that, throwing stones at the brother who laid. Did you tell everything about yourself? If you didn't, shut your damn mouth. Because you are going at the brother who gave us all of him and all of her self. Yet, you would have some of us who would think they're exposing somebody when they're really exposing themselves as a self-righteous hypocrite. When you have people exposing people like that, they are self-righteous hypocrites. Will the perfect among us please stand up? Me, I would get up and sit on the goddamn floor. Not perfect. But you got those that sit up on these platforms, bro, and go in on somebody because they find out something about them. But they won't say a goddamn thing about themselves. And that's something that, salute to Hawkeye, true daughter of darkness, Empress Vicky. Thanks for tapping in. Now, my minister used to always tell us, when somebody brings something to you about somebody else, he said, answer them like this. Okay, I hear you, but now tell me something about your no good ass. That's what he should tell us to say to them. He said, when somebody bring you something about somebody else, ask them that. They'll get away from you. They'll stop carrying shit like that to you. Now tell me something about your no good ass. You just finished talking about this brother or sister.
Straight up.
Nobody would bring bullshit to me because of my mentality. They won't bring bullshit to me, bro, because I'm gonna ask you. Okay, now about you. What about you now?
Straight up, man. God damn. You remind me of my grandfather. That's how he was. You gonna come saying that stupid shit out your mouth and shit, man, and not get checked.
Yes, sir. And you should see the look on their face when you say that, brother. Tell me something about your no good ass. You know so much about this brother that's not your goddamn business.
Oh shit. Remind me of how my grandmother, my moms and all them used to be talking to me and my cousins and them and shit, man. You tell them something about somebody else in the family, one of the kids and did this or something and shit, you open up your mouth on and shit, don't you go there. Because if you ain't ready to talk about what the hell your ass done did and shit, you keep your mouth.
Exactly. Exactly.
My grandmother asked me straight up and said, was you in on it? Did you have some feelings with it too?
You had a lot of information to not be involved. Got a whole lot of information to not be involved in that shit.
Man.
That cut out, brother Greedy, that cuts out the backbiting.
Yes, it does, man.
That's
All
what
the gossiping stops, man.
that cuts the backbiting out. They know they can't come to you with it or meet with it.
It all stops, man. Man, this is powerful, bro. This was much needed.
It's therapeutic for me, brother.
Yes, sir. Man, discussions like this and shit, bro. Real life shit, real time. We in the world with it right now. Family, friends, all can relate. Like this, wow. I'm still caught up on what you said earlier, though, man, about the youth being influenced by the youth, man. That's bonkers to me.
It is.
That's bonkers, man.
Because it seems as if that's the only, people they will listen to is the youth. They listen to each other. They influence each other.
And we were speaking about this. I don't know, was it my last stream or maybe the stream before this one, or the stream before the last one? The youth, even in the streets, like nowadays, the OGs is really still young. Like they're not really elders, man. They're not really OGs.
Imagine that, bro. Imagine that, brother.
The OGs, these youngers looking up to is 5 years older than them, 6 years older than them, who may have, caught a charge or something and made a name for himself and, known carrying a gun around or something, got a little feel on the block. And he is the OG and stuff. He's 5 years older than him. He just graduated or got out of high school a few years before that. It's fucking crazy and shit, man.
That's the order of the day, brother, today. The OGs are getting younger and younger. I mean, always say that behavior is nothing to be to me. It's nothing to be. Banging on your own brother and sister, that ain't shit to be to me. It's because, the gap that is bridged. I mean, if the gap's not bridged, the gap is just wider and wider and wider. And some young people refuse to listen to someone who is elder to them for that very reason that I spoke about earlier, that somebody, for some frozen reason, put out about them dropping the ball, which is, which is just plain, it's a stupid ass analogy. Drop the ball. I wonder who the first idiot that said that. Y'all dropped the ball. But you looking at the ball and won't pick it the fuck up. That's just stupid to me.
Damn, bro.
I mean, because anything you recognize, you can actually remedy. And you have people out there saying that loud. Y'all drop the ball. You saying it loud as hell, but there it goes. There it goes. Somebody don't pick it up and they running the other way with it. We need to understand that. And not, even the little yardage, even if it is a little, I don't say it's a little, but for the sake of argument, even if it's a little yardage, you are enjoying it to this day. The yardage that they made, you're enjoying. So why would you say anything about it? Them dropping the ball when all you gotta do is pick it up and keep running with it.
Mm.
And that's you know, in a nutshell, bro. We say, well, they moved the goalposts. It's like this. We got to stop being so self-righteous and think that we can, you know, play fair with those who don't. Period.
Mm.
If they move the goalposts, hey, we could we got plans too. We just carry our plans out wherever that is. We always use this saying that we need to start doing that overall. Change the game.
Right.
That's it. They want to cheat. We change the whole goddamn game. We said it any other time, right? Well, you change the game. Yeah, change the game. Change the game of life. Change the game all over. Change it.
Mm.
If it's gonna be a game, it's gonna be ours. Put it that way. It's time.
Sure.
It's time. Not that we should play, but life is, I use that analogy because that's the analogy they use, saying you drop the ball.
And even if, like you said, even if they did drop the ball, that was at a certain time.
Exactly.
And time don't stop for no one.
Exactly.
Is we just going to let time go on and nobody's going to choose to pick up the ball and get, possession again. That's what it is. So we're gonna lean on the youth to lead the youth.
It's backwards to me.
No counseling from the elders whatsoever.
You got some brothers who are younger who are strong and ready. As far as I'm concerned, I watched them and they're strong and they ready. Yet, if you've never fought on a certain level, you should get some counsel and you should get the schematics on how to attack the fight from someone who did it before.
Hmm.
You should never go. We should never go into something, blind, because it's brothers and sisters who have been there that we can get their information from on every level. We can get the information from because some of us can tell them the mistakes they made. That's why you gotta listen. You say, "Nah, I was an error the way I did this. Maybe we should do it like this." But if you refuse to listen, you're not gonna get the lesson because somebody told you that they dropped the ball, or somebody told you that we shouldn't listen to those who came before us. That's just a stupid thinking to me. That frame of mind is just plain crazy to me.
Hmm.
And it's only our people who do that. Ours. Somebody told some of us that those who came before us, they were sellouts. Everybody's COINTELPRO today. Everybody.
Hmm.
Everybody's an agent. These words are thrown out so loose. So loose. COINTELPRO, agent, sellout, turncoat. These words are thrown out so loose. And a lot of the people who say these words, display the behavior. Gotta watch the behavior. And like we said before on the earlier stream, if that's all we can produce, come on. You're telling me out of everybody, that's all we can produce is sellouts, turncoats, agents, COINTELPRO. Because if we are doing something and you are trying to offset it, that's COINTELPRO behavior because you are encountering our intelligence.
Mm.
That's what COINTELPRO is. Counterintelligence. Whatever we're doing, you're trying to counter it or get in front of it and prevent it. Preventing the rise, preventing for us from, affecting a positive change in our people. That's counterintelligent. These words shouldn't be used loosely when people don't understand what they mean.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, like I was explaining before, a lot of it came from teachings that became cliche from certain particular groups that was, like you said, having their expose on other groups.
Yeah. See, my sentiment, bro. If you are, if you know emphatically that what you are teaching is the truth, it can withstand criticism, it can withstand question, it can withstand all of that and be the truth still. You know what I'm saying? It can still be the truth. And if what you're speaking is the truth, all you got to do is teach that. It's like the dude, just say a dude trying to get with a chick. If you have to speak about the other dude, you're a simp, man.
Right.
Sell yourself, dude. Give your teachings. You don't gotta say nothing about the other dude. If you can't gravitate that person or get that person to resonate what you are saying just by teaching that person or giving that person the information, you're not sure of your information.
Mm.
Because all you should have to do is just give the information you want the people to have and let it resonate if it would. You're not going to hear me say, well, Cat's information is whack. Don't listen to him or don't listen to her. No, I'm just going to say what I say. You take it or leave it. You have to say nothing about the next person's information. Because for one, if we're building, we're supposed to add on. If I'm saying something about the next brother or sister's information, that's destroy. That's not build. That's destroy.
Mm.
I'd rather build than destroy. See, when we are on these platforms and somebody are giving information, then you have somebody come up there and they try to come up there and to undermine what somebody else have said. That's not building. That's destroy.
Mm.
Building is added on. I'll put a brick and you take a brick. We ain't making no fucking progress. Building nothing, are we? Just imagine I laid one brick and somebody else came and took a brick. Are we building anything? We're gonna be at one brick for a long time, right?
That's some Tom and Jerry shit.
Dr. Seuss shit, right? So building is added on. I come on and say, let me join the build, but don't build. They want to come in again, be the star, be disruptive, and that's it. It's not building. Number 8 in supreme mathematics is build and destroy. Build and destroy. Number 8. It doesn't necessarily mean destroy. You're destroying all negative. Building all positive. And a lot of these cats don't. They use these words like even the word build they use loosely, and don't even know what it is, or don't even know what it means when you say you joining the build. Do you think if some of these brothers went to a cipher at the Parliament, at the Show and Prove, I don't care where it's at in the United States, to the Show and Prove at the Parliament, they went with this mentality talking about their building, get in that cipher with that bullshit if you want to. With those 5%ers, and you not building, you coming over there, you disrupting the build. Okay, try it. Go to New Rochelle with that. See what happens.
And in most cases, we always do things in our own way, and we create, I will call them sub slang words or sub slang definitions or sub slang meanings to certain words. It's something that's equivalent to saying, like, when most people jump on the panel and, in the conscious community, they jump on, they say peace to everyone on the panel. But through their actions, and like you said, the way that they go about dispersing and receiving and rejecting information, it's really not peace. It's really, that was just a what's up, I'm here. Yep. You see what I'm saying? That it just to acknowledge everybody that, and I'm here, basically, what's up? But it's the same thing as what you said now. The same exact thing. Like when people use the word build or join the build, or I'm up here getting ready to build with these brothers, or I was building with them last night. In a lot of cases, it wasn't really a build and shit, or they use that word build with a sub feeling or a sub meaning that I was just on a panel on an open forum with a bunch of niggas with different ideologies.
Brother, being what I call a PAM. please acknowledge me. When most of them join the build, they're being a PAM. Please acknowledge me.
Man, you was off the chain. A PAM.
That's what they are, a PAM, brother.
Oh man.
They want to be hear me, see me. Ass nigga.
Look at me, look at me.
Yes, sir, brother.
Oh shit. But yeah, a lot of that, like we know that, just being around and experiencing it for some time now, we just know how our people are, and being conscious of things or being conscious of certain information, being made aware of certain information don't mean that most is going to change. Most, that's a self thing. People, that's something that people have to recognize in self and make that conscious decision to change that about their own selves. That's like a lot of this stuff, bro, like you would think that you would call it like the basics on like the upbringing, which kind of, goes all the way back to what the initial topic is, manhood or lack thereof. It kind of goes back to upbringing and the basics of, how most people were raised, and it even shows that most of them wasn't raised around proper men. And in the cases of the sisters, around certain sisters, well, we just wasn't really about them, so I don't even want to speak on that. We're speaking on men.
Yes.
But, yeah, the men, see, they wasn't raised like that, or or the new age, this new society have got to them so much that they have thrown out the basics because of the cliche word and listening and being followed. I mean, and being followers and being influenced by people of their generation and stuff like that, man. That's terrible.
And it's that's done on purpose. It's done on purpose because when you have a society that tells a teenager that they can do something without their parents' consent, come on, bro.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And then certain things that's socialized also. Socialization, bro, is a good thing when it comes to young people, but not the way it's done today. It's not. It's not. Because for one, they want to blame the parents for what the children do, but want to take control. Don't want the parents to have control over the child. That's the crazy part.
Right.
Socialization is good, but we have to be mindful of what they're being socialized into. Because I've seen some flyers in some schools, bro. I was like, man, look. I'm not going to even say it, bro. I've seen flyers hanging up in school. I was like, you telling me people are going to allow their child to go to that? Crazy.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
One of those funny pink flyers, brother.
Yes, I know what you mean.
One of the meetings and stuff. And what's crazy, it's I think all during school. I don't think anybody should during the school age. It's supposed to be all parents controlling.
Right.
During all school age.
Right.
Supposed to be all the parents under control. But that's not how it is. A certain age, bro, they can tell you don't gotta tell your parents. That's a secret between someone that's not in your family and your child. Do you know grooming can happen in that scenario? In that scenario, in that school, in that's most case scenario, that's how the grooming happened.
Yeah.
You got somebody that working at the board of education, and it's a secret between a child and that grown up. Nah, you should always go through the damn parent.
Right.
But they want the child to be comfortable with keeping secrets from their parents. That's the society we live in. And that's why young people are influencing young people. The number one influence on young people is young people. And it's been that way for a while. And it's getting worse and worse. Yet, that's why I say the work that has to be done it's not going to, a few of us is not going to be able to do it. Because if all of us go somewhere and say, look, not our child or not our children, not black children, that's it. It got to be all of us. But when you got somebody that's, I don't know what they call it today, of that thinking, I'm going to put it that way, of that thinking, they're going to undermine the mission of the people, because we got to have do not disturb signs, brother. Be like, just put them on the kids, bro. Do not disturb. Because now they're disturbed. They've been disturbed. Most case scenario, they've been disturbed. Overly sensitive. Want to play all the damn time. Disrespectful. Lazy. Don't take a damn thing serious.
Improper guidance.
And before you know it, you know, I always say, look, life didn't stand still for me. Not gonna stand still for nobody who's young. Let me tell you something, brother. I have friends that's been dead 40 years. 40 years, bro. 30 years. Friends. I got friends that died when I was in the 7th grade, bro. I tell people all the time, I got friends been dead longer than you've been living. Got friends got killed by cops 30 years ago. I got friends that all that shit you see going on, I got friends that happened to. So when you think you're trying to tell somebody something, you're only exchanging information. You're not giving them nothing new. Because I would never let somebody undermine what somebody's saying to me. I just don't got that in my thinking. But I would at least listen to that person. And that's another thing, brother. We have to listen, bro. A lot of people don't like to listen. If somebody giving information, I'm going to get that, bro. I'm going to get it. I don't care who's giving it. I'm getting it.
No discrimination on the information.
Nope. Because even if the person is giving information that's incorrect, I will know that it's incorrect. And I will know that it's the truth. And if I don't know anything about it, I'm going to look into it.
Right.
I'm looking into it. And that's how you learn, brother. That's how you learn.
Yeah, I mean, naturally how it go for me, if the information is important, I ain't gonna say important, but if it's something that I feel that I guess it moves me to look into, something that I feel that I ain't never heard before, or somebody put me on to something, teach me something, show me a different perspective or something. Yeah, if I feel a certain type of way about it, yeah, indeed I will go look into it.
I'm gonna look into it.
And it don't matter where it came from.
It don't matter to me, bro. My introduction to secret societies, bro, back in the early 90s came from Jordan Maxwell and Anthony Hilder. These was two white men. It was Professor Griff, Anthony Hilder, Jordan Maxwell. Those three. When it came to those secret societies, those three. Two white men and Brother Griff. And this Griff was probably in the 80s. And those of the other two guys probably like 92, 93. My introduction to learning about secret societies. When cats start talking to Illuminati stuff, secret societies, I'm like, man, I knew that shit a long time ago, bro. Before it was popular. I had Millennium 2000, bro, when it first came out. Still I got it on what you call it, VHS. When it first came out, I got that tape. when they start talking about the New World Order and Illuminati. I knew this shit 30 plus years ago, bro. When people start talking about it, I just listen. Because some people, you know, when they get information, they want to spread information, rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Yeah, and I always listen just to see, you know, what perspective they're gonna come with. You know, I give, like you said, I give chance to get turned on to something new. I always do, and if it's important enough to me, or if it's something that, you know, I feel I want to look into or need to look into, then I will. But if not, then I'll just leave it be. You know, I'm one of those two that understand that.
And I want
all information ain't for me. You know,
no, it's not.
I need to know everything.
And I want to check the person's level of understanding also. That's what I want to do, because especially if it's something that I already know, I just want to see their level of understanding of the information that they're giving me that I already know. See if they understand. And if we are going back and forth with information, and I would just present, you know, not to go back and forth with it or even challenge them. I'll just give my understanding of it. And then, you know, because if the person who's giving who's giving information don't understand, and someone who he's giving the information don't understand, we have two people who don't understand. So we got to have understanding in that equation when it comes to passing off information. Because knowing is not enough. It's not enough. They said knowing is half the battle. It's half the battle, but you know, what's the other half? What's the other half, though? Tell me that.
You always heard that too. That's another cliche that been going around. It was knowing is half the battle and shit. Nobody ever said what was the other half.
Nobody never said that, brother. What's the other half? You know, and especially when you in a military uniform and about to go shipped out to some damn foreign country, they can tell you knowing is half the battle. Yeah. Perhaps do you understand that they're gonna shoot back at your ass?
What? Damn.
Do you understand what war is? That's, you know, if no one has had the battle, what's the other half?
Man. Hey, Bro.Nasir, man, man, we've been going. We're going on 3 hours, bro.
I enjoyed this, brother.
We're going on 3 hours, man. I think we can wrap this up, man. It's been
one right here, brother.
It's been a nice one to the start. And we're gonna do this every week. We're gonna keep this concurrent. We're gonna run this every Friday, a strong weekly with my good brother in this public.
Yes, sir. I look forward to it, brother. We just, you know, got to keep it going, different topics, and you know, passing off the information, chopping it up as brothers.
Yes, sir.
So I enjoyed this, and I thank everybody for coming through, hanging out with the brothers, as we gave the people a strong weekly. But brother, I will definitely be in touch.
Yes, sir, man. Have a grand one, man. This was good, therapeutic.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Yeah. See, I can't wait till we do the next one. I got some other stuff lined up on the channel for this weekend as well, coming with the good brother King of High Self.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, all the people be on the lookout for that. Appreciate everyone that tapped in, man. Supported us tonight. Could have been anywhere tonight on these YouTube streets, but you was over here with your cousins, man.
That's right. Exactly. I'm there tomorrow, brother. Just you know, I'll be rooting for you brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? And if you drop the link, I'm there.
Yes, sir. All right, good brother, man. Peace and salute and much love and peace and salute to everyone that's in the chat, man. Peace and power, man.
Peace and power, family. Salute to you. Salute to all the brothers and sisters in the chat. Peace.
Peace.
Feel, then that's how you feel.
I know how I feel.
It's all about your timing and your space. When it's real, got to keep it real.
Gotta keep it real.
How you separate the real from the fake. If that's how you feel, then that's how you feel.
I know how I feel.
It's all about your timing and your
I
space.
meditate to avoid the fake, the ones that hate that I'm great. My family always tell me, you know how to motivate, how to be real with yourself. Always invest in your health. Eat your fruits and eat your kale. Look at who hang on your coattail. Cause these parasites ain't nothing nice. I'm pest control to the fakes, the mice. Not even rats, they little mice. They all little guys, they little guys. Yeah, little guys to a mental giant. You take my time and space, that's why I'ma stop it in y'all raps. Man, y'all be lying, you king of concrete jungle. Man, nigga, you be lying when you find yourself. That's true conclusion. Overcome an illusion that cause confusion. Not real with yourself, then you truly losing. High vibes the only thing that I'm consuming. Elevate your fam, it's some land. Heal from thin, that's real. Expressing how you truly feel, it's how you keep it real. If you bite your tongue, then you're being fake. If you keep it fake, then get out the way. The news fake, religion fake. To be real, they wanna control the decisions you make. Now that's real. Hey, greedy, yeah, that's how I feel.
When it's real, got to keep it real.
Gotta keep it real.
Separate the real from the fake. If that's how you feel, then that's how you feel.
I know how I feel.
It's all about your timing and your space. When it's real, got to keep it real.
Gotta keep it real.
Separate the real from the fake. If that's how you feel, then that's how you feel.
I know how I feel.
It's all about your timing and your
Got no
space.
space for the food, nah. No time for the sublime. I'm 100 with it, not sometime. Got a whole lot on this one mind. I vent daily, went crazy in the real world. 1080, that's HD. How you gon' play me? Rather cold with it like the AC. When it's turned up, I done learned up. Frankincense and myrrh, I done burned up. Put my name off with the greats. Got respect, yeah, I done earned up. Be discerned up, stay tapped in. Copper tone, no black skin. Not an African or an act man. I can two-step, but can't tap dance. Real rap fam, this true spill. Detox off the blue pill. Got a new mind and a new shine. Whole world on a new time. I don't do swine or no meats, bruh. Fresh fruits is my sweets, bruh. All the process you can keep, bruh. Trying to live long on these streets, bruh. Shit deep, bruh, like a bloodline. Conscious thoughts on the thug mind. I can see clear, it can peep fear on my radar. From way far, got the AR for my OG. Whether OT or OC, I'ma keep it real like it's supposed to be. Play around, you for sure to see.
When it's real, got to keep it real.
Gotta keep it real.
Separate the real from the fake. If that's how you feel, then that's how you feel.
I know how I feel.
It's all about your timing and your space. When it's real, got to keep it real.
Gotta keep it real.
How you separate the real from the fake. If that's how you feel, then that's how you feel.
I know how I feel.